Hello out there, YouTube land and Google Video land. Welcome to my Traps A400 drum set. I hope you'll forgive drum set test. I hope you'll forgive the audio that I'm currently talking with. I got a crappy microphone. All my good microphones are on the kit. I got mics on each tom, mics on the snare, mic on the kick, and 2 overheads, Shure KSM 32s. Running into a Yamaha MG166 CX mixer with some effects, which is key to how good I can get this to sound. To let you know, first off, you've probably seen other videos on Google and YouTube with these, and they sound like butt. They're flat, flappy-sounding things with duct tape all over them, and panty liners, and gaffer tape, and God knows what else. This is because drummers don't know how to tune. All right, the way you tune a drum is simple. You put the head on it, and you tune it to its maximum resonance, and you leave it alone. There, that's the end of how to tune drums. You don't need hair dryers, you don't need pizza ovens, you don't need steamrollers. Now, I have out in the garage a set of $6,000 AOD custom maple drums, gathering dust and spiders, and about a $1,500 set of Pearl maple professional level drums, gathering dust and spiders. That's how much I like these drums. Here it gives you an idea of what they sound like when processed properly. Does that sound like a $400 set of fake drums or practice drums to you? I freaking like these things. So there you have it. If you're in the know, you can make these things sound indistinguishable from a very, very expensive professional drum kit. I've recorded with these using Sonar and similar plugins that I used with my Iota kit. You can't tell a difference, I'm telling you. Now, there's not everything is wine and roses. There's a few drawbacks to these drums. A would be, you can possibly hear that. there's some rattles. I haven't quite solved all the little noises this kit makes. Now, my impression of the build quality is they could use better rims for less shake and less creaking noises. The tom positioning can be tricky, but a little bit of experimentation, you can basically get these drums to go wherever you want them. And again, since there's no shell underneath, you can fit these things anywhere you want. I've even got them over the snare drum. The snare drum is great because it attaches to the rack. You don't have your own stand. Your feet are free to move around underneath without kicking anything. I love that. I'm very impressed with the snare drum for a 12-inch. You might take a little while to get used to the size. It's smaller than your typical 14-inch snare. Side sticks are tricky, which is, of course, that can be tough based to the size of the shell. You're not quite used to it, and it doesn't sound entirely convincing. So if you do a lot of side click work, you may want to use a typical snare drum. But that's a very small price to pay. The hardware that the kit comes with, the kick pedal, hi-hat stand, I'm not using. They're of beginner quality only. I wouldn't rely on them. And same with the stool. So I'm using my own kick pedal, my own Pearl hi-hat stand, and my own old stool. The rack I'm very impressed with. This is a very good rack system. Secondly, a benefit is it's the same size pipes that Roland and I believe Yamaha use. And over here, for this tom, is a Roland bit that I had, which allowed me, I could attach it with Roland's attach. It comes right onto the pipes here. It's the same standard size. Again, I also think Yamaha uses the same size. It's kind of a standard. So you can easily expand it and add electronics if you already have electronics like I do. I haven't added any pads yet, but I certainly will. These things sound fantastic. I'm going to gig with them. I'm going to run my own sound. Again, you're not going to just pick these things up and make them sound like $1 million. But if you know what you're doing, and I managed to score a great deal on a Yamaha MG166 mixer with effects. I'm using compression on the kick snare and the toms. There's reverb, like this, if you choose to use it. It's a great mixer, and I'm going to use this so when I go out live, I can run my own drum sound. And I can give the front of house, if he has 2 mics, I can give him a full-on stereo sound and talk to him and make it sound good. If he has 4 or 5 lines, I could line out everything and give full mixing capability to the front of the house, and I have my own mix to run for myself. It's the best of both worlds. And the beauty of it is these things cost hardly anything. They're very lightweight. You can take these things anywhere. I fit these in the back of my Acura with minimal breakdown. You leave the toms attached to it. You fold them down. It'll take a little bit of work when you first get it, but once you figure it out, it's a breeze, and they sound great. Another benefit to these drums, stage volume. I would estimate they have probably half the overall volume or so of your typical good quality wooden drum set. So while they sound fantastic nearby, they do have less stage intrusion. The benefit to me is that you don't blow your bandmates off stage. And if your bandmates are being blown off stage, what do? They turn their guitar amps up. They turn their bass amp up. Everything gets louder. The sound of a band starts and ends with the drums. These have the benefit of you can lay into these things and wail the shit out of them without the volume that's going to blow your bandmates off the stage. Secondly, there's less volume coming from the front of the stage to the audience. The audience is going to hear more of the PA. And if you've got a good front of house guy, they love these things. I've talked to a guy who has run sound with these. He said they're fantastic because he can control the sound of the mix and it doesn't blow the audience away, and the audience is hearing a much clearer mix of your band. So yes, the Traps drums, I think they're fantastic. They could use some slight sturdier rims. I know this, I'll email the company, but I think these things are the steal of the century. Again, learn how to tune. Buy microphones, good microphones. I've got good AKGs on everything, and a blue ball for the kick. KSM 32 overheads from Shure, the best deal in condenser microphones in the world. And a good Yamaha mixer. So anyway, yeah. Leave some comments and questions if you have them, and I'll answer them. Thanks for watching.